Hello students, in last class we already discussed about what is work energy theorem and the expression for or derivation of work energy theorem, then the potential energy. And there are two types of potential energy basically we discussed. One is gravitational potential energy and its derivation is mgh, where h is what? Height of the body from any reference plane where we are assumed that the potential energy is to be 0, and the second one is elastic potential energy and its derivation for spring is how much? Half k x square, where x is known as what? Its elongation or compression of the spring, or as well as compression of the spring. Clear? And we also discussed that the work done by external force is equal to the negative of work done by conservative force, and which is equal to the potential energy stored within the body. Here we can also derive that. Here we are assuming that at the reference level the potential energy or initial potential energy is to be 0. But if we are considering certain amount of potential energy stored within the body initially, then what will happen? For example, if I am considering a block or a body of mass m which is at certain height h1 from the reference level initially, and after that let this point be a, and after that I am taking this to a point here B, okay, which is at a height h2. Clear? So in this case, if I am applying an external applied force F, which is magnitudically equal with the weight of the block, that is equal to mg, because I want to displace the block with 0 acceleration, then what will happen? The work done by external force will be positive because the displacement is along this direction and the force is applied along this direction. So we can assume it for a very small displacement f dx, let it be dw. So it will be how much? mg dx, and its integration now varies from, as initially the height is h1, so from h1 to final height h2. So this will become how much? mg dx integration will be x, limit varies from h1 to h2. So this implies I can write the work done by external force equal to mg h2 minus mg h1, or this implies work done by external force equal to how much? U final minus U initial. Clear? So if we put h1 as 0, so it will become how much? Work done by external equal to mgh2, or it will become h. Clear? So here we can write that the work done by external force is equal to how much? U final minus U initial, or else, as we already discussed in the previous class, that work done by external force is equal to negative of work done by conservative force, which is equal to how much? U final minus U initial. So from this relation I can write work done by conservative force equal to negative of U final minus U initial. That means we can write work done by conservative force equal to U initial minus U final. What is U final minus U initial? It can be noted by the change in potential energy. So this implies if work done by conservative force is U initial minus U final, so we can write work done by conservative force is equal to negative of change in potential energy. Clear? You have to remember this relation, that work done by conservative force is minus or negative of change in potential energy, or simply it will be U initial minus U final. This will help you by solving numericals. Clear? Okay, so these are the things that we already discussed in the last class. So here I can write according to work energy theorem, or work energy theorem, total work done equal to net change in kinetic energy, or this implies I can write what is the total work done by external force plus work done by any conservative force present plus work done by any non-conservative force plus if there is any pseudo force equal to net change in kinetic energy, or this can be written as kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. Okay, but as we already discussed right now that work done by conservative force is equal to how much? Minus of change in potential energy. So this implies we can write work done by external force plus work done by non-conservative force plus work done by any pseudo force equal to delta Ek plus delta U, or this can be written as Ek final minus Ek initial plus U final minus U initial, or by rearranging this I can write it will be Ek final plus U final minus Ek initial plus U initial. Okay, clear? And what are these? These two are known as what? The total change in mechanical energy of the system. Clear? So we can write work done by external force plus work done by non-conservative force plus work done by pseudo force equal to how much? Total change in mechanical energy of the system, because this is final kinetic energy plus potential energy and this is initial kinetic energy plus potential energy. That's why this is the total final mechanical energy and this is the total initial mechanical energy, and the subtraction will be gives us what? The total change in mechanical energy of the system. Okay. Okay, so from this, if there will be no other force exist except the conservative force only, then this complete term will become 0. Clear? So I can write here, if no other forces are present except conservative force only, then what will happen? This complete term will become 0. So 0 will be equal to how much? Kinetic energy final minus final potential energy, sorry, kinetic energy final plus final potential energy minus kinetic energy initial plus initial potential energy, or this can be written as kinetic energy initial plus initial potential energy is equal to kinetic energy final plus final potential energy. Okay, clear? So if there is only conservative force exist, then the total final mechanical energy is must be equal to the total initial mechanical energy. These two are known as what? Kinetic energy plus potential energy is known as mechanical energy. So total mechanical energy initial equal to total mechanical energy final. Okay, or we can say that the mechanical energy is conserved. Okay, this is known as conservation principle of mechanical energy. Okay, clear? So let's discuss what is the statement of conservation principle of mechanical energy. So as we already discussed that if there is only conservative force exists, then the total mechanical energy of the system initially is must be equal to the total mechanical energy of the system finally. So we can write the conservation principle of So what is the statement of conservation principle of mechanical energy? It states that in a conservative force field, it states that in a conservative force field, the total mechanical energy of the system remain constant. Okay, it states that in a conservative force field, that means there is only conservative force exists, then the total mechanical energy of the system remain constant. That means if E is the total mechanical energy initial equal to E total or total mechanical energy of the system final, or as we already discussed, this can be written as kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial is equal to kinetic energy final plus potential energy final. Clear? So this is known as what? The conservation principle of mechanical energy. Clear? So let us now verify this statement for different cases. Clear? So the first verification of conservation principle of mechanical energy is for a freely falling body. Okay, so now discuss how the conservation principle of mechanical energy satisfied by a freely falling body. Okay, so first, conservation of mechanical energy for a freely falling body. Okay, provided air resistance is neglected. Because air resistance is a frictional force, and we already discussed that conservation principle of mechanical energy is only satisfied under conservative force field only. So as air friction is a frictional force, so it is not a conservative force. So if we are considering air friction, then we can't able to verify the conservation principle of mechanical energy for a freely falling body. That's why we have to neglect the air resistance. Clear? So if we neglect the air resistance, then a freely falling body will move under the action of gravitational force only, and as we know, gravitational force is a conservative force. So let us first consider a body of mass m, which is initially at point A, okay, at t equal to 0 second. Clear? and let consider this is as the reference line. And the height of this body from the reference line be h. Okay. So initially the body is at point A, which is at a height h from the reference line, and mass of the body is m, and it is at rest. Okay. So initially what is the energy stored within the body at point A? We can write the total energy at A is equal to the kinetic energy at A plus the potential energy at A. So this implies the total energy at A will be equal to how much? What is the kinetic energy at A? As the body is at rest, so its velocity is 0. So its kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. So here we can write Ek equal to half mv square. As v is here rest, so v is 0. So this term will become how much? 0. But what is the value of potential energy? As from the reference level, the body is at a height h initially. So its potential energy will be how much? mgh, because m is the mass of the body. So the total energy will become at point A equal to mgh. Clear? Let it be question 1. Okay. So the total mechanical energy of the system or the body at point A initially is mgh. Clear? So let at any instant of time the body is allowed to fall freely. That means we just dropped it. So its initial velocity is 0. So as it is allowed to fall freely, so let at any instant of time t equal to t second, the body is at point B. Okay. And the distance covered by the body from point A to B, let be x. Clear? So any further instant we observe that the body is at point B after covering a distance x from A. So now we have to verify what is the value of total mechanical energy stored by the body at point B. So as we know, we can write the E total at B will be equal to how much? E kinetic at B plus potential energy at B. So as the block drops by height x, so its height from the reference level will be how much? From this to this. Now its height will become h minus x. So for the potential energy at B, we can easily write it is equal to how much? So this implies, let it be the kinetic energy will be half m and v at B square plus what is the value of u at B, that is height from the reference level is h minus x. So the potential energy will be how much? m g h minus x. Clear? So this will be the expression for E total at point B. But we don't know what is the value of velocity at point B. That's why we have to calculate the value of velocity at point B. And as we know from equation of motion, if we are applying the equation of motion for the motion A to B, we have the initial velocity u is equal to 0. The displacement covered by the body s is equal to minus x as it is displacing downward. Acceleration of the body is minus g as it's only move under the acceleration of gravity only. So then we can find out the final velocity Vb by using the equation of motion Vb square minus u square equal to 2as. So this will become Vb square, u is 0 equal to minus of 2g into minus of x. So minus minus will get cancelled, so it will simply become 2gx. So using the value of Vb square here, we will get what? Half m in place of Vb square I can write 2gx plus mgh minus mgx just by opening the bracket. So 2 will get cancelled. So here I can write as it will become mgx. So E total at B equal to mgx plus mgh minus mgx. So mgx will get cancelled. So E total at B again mgh. Equation 2. So from 1 and 2 we get what? The total mechanical energy at point A is exactly equal to the total mechanical energy at point B. What is point B? Point B is any arbitrary point at any time instant t. Clear? So in general case, for any location we can easily find out the kinetic energy is equal to how much? Half mvv square. Vv is the any arbitrary point. So the kinetic energy will be how much? Mgx, because this is the kinetic energy at any depth x, where x is a variable. So for in general condition, for any position x, we can calculate the kinetic energy as mgx. Clear? And the potential energy as how much? mg h minus x. So these are the two expression for getting potential energy and kinetic energy for any arbitrary location x from the initial position. Clear? So by changing the value of x, we can get the value of kinetic energy and potential energy at any arbitrary point. Clear? So if I am considering a final point just at the reference level, when the body touches the reference level here, let this point be C. So now what is the value of x? As x is the distance covered by the body at any instant. So when I am considering the location just the body touch the reference level, the value of x will be equal to h. So if I am applying or I am trying to find out the total mechanical energy at point C, so at point C, okay, at point C, x equal to how much? H, because it already cover a distance completely h. So at point C, x equal to h. So what is the value of kinetic energy? As the expression for any value of x is mgx. So the kinetic energy will simply become mgh by putting the value of x equal to h in this relation. Similarly, what is the value of potential energy? That is mg into h minus x, and here x is also equal to h. So this term will become 0. So E total at A will be equal to how much? Ek at A, let it is Ek at A, this is U potential energy at A plus potential energy at A, which will be equal to mgh plus 0, or it will be written as mgh. So E total at A, sorry, at C, this is at point C I am calculating for. So at C, and this is also at C. So Ek at C plus UC at U at C equal to how much? So E total at point C will be equal to how much? mgh. So from these three equations, let it be equation 3. So from equation 1 we get the total mechanical energy at point A is equal to mgh. From equation 2 we calculate the total mechanical energy at point B is also mgh, and here now we already find out the total mechanical energy at the point C is also equal to mgh. So by taking any arbitrary value of x in these two relations, we can find out the total mechanical energy or individually the kinetic energy and potential energy at that location. Then by adding these two we will get the total mechanical energy at that location. And from this derivation we conclude what? The total mechanical energy for a freely falling body when air resistance is neglected is conserved. Clear? Because we are taking 3 arbitrary points, and each and every point the total mechanical energy is equal to how much? mgh, the potential or the energy stored within the body initially. That's why we can say when a body is falling freely from certain height and we neglect the air resistance, then the total mechanical energy of the system remain conserved. Clear? So if we are plotting a graph by taking the position and its mechanical and kinetic energy, then the graph will look like this. If I am taking the x along this direction and the potential energy or energy along this y axis. Okay, x is the location of the body from initial point A. So initially, what is the value of x? When the block is or body is at A, x is 0. So when the value of x is 0, what is the value of kinetic energy? Putting here x equal to 0 is 0. So the value of kinetic energy when x equal to 0 is 0. So here is the kinetic energy when x equal to 0. But when x equal to 0, what is the value of potential energy? As the height is h, if I am putting x equal to 0 here, so the potential energy will be maximum, that is mgh. So at x equal to 0, the potential energy will be maximum and let it be here. Okay, but when x becomes h, that means at point C, what is the value of kinetic energy? If I am putting here x equal to h, the kinetic energy will become mgh, that is maximum. So at x equal to h, let here this point is h, the kinetic energy will be maximum and it will be at this level. So this is the location for kinetic energy when x equal to h. Similarly, when x equal to h, what is the value of potential energy? mgh minus x, that is 0. So the value of potential energy will be here. And within these 2 points, we can get the value of potential energy, kinetic energy by varying the value of x accordingly. And by joining all the coordinates, we will get the graph of kinetic energy like this and of potential energy like this. Okay, but each and every point, the sum of these 2 energy is constant, and this is known as what? The total mechanical energy. Okay, so here I can write the yellow line represents the potential energy U, and the pink line represents the kinetic energy, and the white line represents the total mechanical energy. Okay, as x varies, the energy will vary like this. Clear? So this is the graph between potential energy, kinetic energy and total mechanical energy with respect to variation of position or x. Clear? So next we are going to verify the same for a body projected vertically upward. Okay. So conservation of mechanical energy for a body projected vertically. For a body projected vertically up. Okay, projected vertically up. Air resistance is also again neglected. So now let's consider, here is a body initially on the reference level. Okay, and it is projected vertically up with certain initial velocity u. Let mass of the body be m and this is considered as t equal to 0. So at initial condition the body is at a point A. Let this location be A and it has some velocity because we are projecting it in upward direction. That's why the initial velocity of the block is u and from the reference level it is at a height 0. So let at point A or the initial condition, what is the total value of mechanical energy? We can write the total value of mechanical energy E total at point A is similarly equal to the kinetic energy at A plus the potential energy at A. So this implies you can write E total at A will be equal to, what is the value of kinetic energy? As the body projects some initial velocity u and have mass m, so its kinetic energy will be how much? Half m u square plus, what is the potential energy? As the height of the body from the reference level is 0, so its potential energy will be 0. So the total energy at A is equal to half m u square. Clear? Let it be equation 1. Let at any instant of time t equal to t second, the body reach to a certain height or a point B where the height of the body from the reference level be x. Okay, so if this height is x, now what is the total energy at point B? Similarly, it is the sum of kinetic energy at point B plus the sum of potential energy at point B. As we can easily observe that the body at point B is at a height x from the reference level, so we can easily write the value of potential energy of the body at point B will be how much? mg x. Clear? But for kinetic energy it will be m half m v at B square. So we have to find out the value of v at B. So by using the equation of kinematics, we can write the initial velocity u is equal to u. The final velocity we don't know, we have to find out. Acceleration is acting downward, that is minus g, and again displacement s is along upward, that is plus x. So by using the equation of kinematics, v square minus u square which is equal to 2as, and putting these values we will get vb square minus u square equal to minus 2gx. So this implies you will get vb square equal to how much? U square plus 2gx, sorry, u square minus 2gx. Clear? So now using this value of velocity at this point, we will get what? The kinetic energy at point B, which is equal to half m, in place of vb square I can write u square minus 2gx, or by simplifying this I will get half m u square minus mgx. So this is kinetic energy at point B. Clear? So this is the potential energy at point B and this is the expression for kinetic energy at point B. So by using these two, we will get the total energy. What is total energy at point B? Equal to how much? Half m u square minus mgx plus mgx. So these two will get cancelled, it will become half m u square. So E total at point B is also equal to that of the total mechanical energy at point A. Clear? Similarly, if we are taking a height or a point C, okay, where the velocity becomes 0 or the maximum height attained by this block. Here let the height be h, and this is the maximum possible height can attain by this body which is projected vertically upward. So as this is the maximum height, so here we can take the final velocity v is equal to 0. So if the final velocity v will become 0, then we can write the total potential energy will be equal to how much? mgh, and we have to find out the value of h. What is the value of h? As solving for C, if I am writing here for any arbitrary point C or for the maximum height reached by the body is C. Okay, so here I am writing if C is the maximum height reached by the body, if C is the maximum height reached by the body, or sorry, if H is the maximum height reached by the body, then at C final velocity will be 0. So what is the value of h? We know initial velocity u equal to u, final velocity v equal to 0 and a equal to minus g. So we have to find out h. So what is h? We know a is equal to ut plus half a t square, or we can simply use the equation v square minus u square equal to 2as. So v square minus u square equal to 2as. So this implies v is the final velocity at the height h is 0 minus initial velocity u square equal to minus 2gh. So what is the value of h? So from this we will get h equal to u square by 2g. So this is the maximum height or the value of h. So the potential energy at point C will be how much? So u at point C will be equal to mgh. So this can be written as mg. In terms of h, you can add u square by 2g. So this will become how much? Half m u square. So potential energy at C will be half m u square, and as we already discussed that C is the maximum height attained by this body. So its velocity will be 0, so its kinetic energy will be 0. So the total energy at point C will be again equal to how much? Half m u square. So from this derivation we conclude what? The total mechanical energy for a body projected vertically upward is conserved at each and every point. Clear? If the air resistance is neglected. Clear? So next case is we will have to verify the conservation principle of mechanical energy for a simple pendulum. Okay, so what is a simple pendulum? Simple pendulum is a heavy metallic bob which is attached with a massless inextensible string. So pendulum or simple pendulum is like a structure like this. Here is the bob which have certain mass m and is fixed with a rigid support with a string, and this string is massless and inextensible. Okay, this is known as a simple pendulum. Clear? So we have to verify the conservation of mechanical energy for a simple pendulum. Okay, so now let's draw the figure first. So here is a pendulum suspended like this, and I shifted this pendulum by an angle theta to this level. Initially the pendulum is at this point, it had certain mass m, and I am taking this as the reference level. Okay, so initially at t equal to 0, the pendulum is at point A, okay, which is at certain height h. Clear? So at t equal to 0, the pendulum is at point A, which is at a certain height h from this reference level. It is here and released. So if it is released, the initial velocity is 0. Clear? So what is the total mechanical energy at this point A? So here we can write the total kinetic energy at A plus total potential energy at A. As the pendulum is just released, so its initial velocity is 0, so kinetic energy will become 0 plus potential energy, as I am taking this is as the reference level, so its height from the reference level is h, so its potential energy will be mgh. So E total at A will be equal to how much? 0 plus mgh. So this implies I can write here E total at A equal to mgh. Let it be equation 1. Clear? So let at any instant of time t, as the pendulum is released from point A, the pendulum reached to any arbitrary location here. Okay, let this point be B, and the height of this location B from the reference level be x. Clear? So this is the mass of the pendulum m, and let this t equal to t second. So at any instant of time t, the pendulum is travelled to point B from point A, where the height of the point B from the reference level is x. So what is the total mechanical energy at point B? B is any arbitrary point, so we can write kinetic at B plus potential energy at B. So kinetic at B will be how much? Half m velocity of the pendulum at B square plus what is the potential energy? As the height of the pendulum from this reference level is x, so its potential energy will become how much? mgx. So now we have to find out the velocity of the pendulum at point B. So what is the velocity of the pendulum at point B? If the pendulum travel from A to B, so the distance covered by the pendulum will be how much? If this height is x and here the height is h, so distance travelled by the pendulum is how much? This is the distance travelled by the pendulum from this level to this level, and it will be how much? H minus x. So here we have u initial equal to 0, v final equal to vb, that we have to find out, and the displacement s equal to h minus x, and is moving downwards, so my negative, and acceleration a equal to minus g. So using equation of kinematics, we will get vb square minus u square equal to 2as, or this can be written as vb square, as u is 0, equal to minus 2g into minus h minus x, or simply it will be 2g into h minus x. Clear? So by using this value of vb square here, we will get the total mechanical energy at B is equal to half m vb square, that is 2g into h minus x, plus the potential energy is mgx. So by solving this, it will become mgh minus mgx plus mgx. So mgx will get cancelled. So the total mechanical energy at B will be mgh, which is exactly equal to that of what? The total mechanical energy at A. Clear? So in general, I can write the kinetic at any location is equal to how much? mgh minus mgx or mg into h minus x, because here 2 will get cancelled. So E total, E kinetic at any location will be mg into h minus x, and U potential at any location will be how much? mgx, where x is the height of the location from the reference level at any instant. Clear? So if I am considering the final location C, where the pendulum just touched the reference level, so here the value of x will become 0. So at C, if I am verifying the conservation principle of mechanical energy for point C, so for any general point whose height is x from the reference level, have kinetic energy this much and potential energy this much. So if I am applying these two expressions for the location C, where C is just the pendulum touch the reference level, so for C or at C, x equal to how much? 0. So U equal to mgx, so U at C equal to mgx, which is equal to 0, and kinetic energy at C equal to how much? mg into h minus x, so as x equal to 0 at C, so it will become how much? mgh. So total energy at C equal to E kinetic at C plus potential energy at C, which is equal to 0 plus mgh, sorry, it will be mgh plus 0. So total will become mgh. Okay. So from these expressions we conclude what? The total mechanical energy, that is the total kinetic energy plus potential energy contained by a simple pendulum when air resistance is neglected is conserved at each and every position. These are the expression to find out the potential energy and kinetic energy for any arbitrary location where x is the height of that location from the reference line. Clear? So if we are trying to plot the graph, then the graph between the potential energy and kinetic energy will look like this. If I am taking x here, so as here the pendulum is oscillating, it can also move from C to along this direction. So the pendulum can execute to and fro motion, that's why the x can vary both in positive and negative direction also. So when the value of x is 0, what is the potential energy? 0. What is the kinetic energy? mgh maximum. So I can write when the value of x is 0, here is the kinetic energy maximum and here is the potential energy minimum. Clear? When the value of x is maximum, that is h, this is known as the extreme position. When the value of x is h, the kinetic energy is 0 and the potential energy is maximum. So the at h, if I am considering here h or the extreme position, the potential energy is maximum and the kinetic energy is minimum. Similarly, when the body will travel to point D, its height will become h again. So at point D again the kinetic energy will 0 and potential energy will maximum. So again at same my position D, the kinetic energy of the location will become 0 and the potential energy will become maximum. So if we are joining these lines or coordinates, the graph will be a parabola like this. Okay, and the total energy always remain constant. So this is E total. The green line is known as E potential or U, potential energy U, and the red line is known as kinetic energy, Ek. Okay, clear? here is the negative x-axis and here is the positive x-axis, and this is y-axis, and this is the origin when x is 0. Clear? So if you are plotting the graph between x and energy, the total energy at each and every point will remain constant, but the kinetic energy increases then decreases, and the potential energy similarly, when kinetic energy is maximum, potential energy is minimum at the mean position. So this position C, this is the location C. Okay, if I am mentioning this location is C, this location is A, and this location is D. Okay, this is D, this location A which is mentioned here, and this location is C. So here C is known as mean position, this is known as mean position. And these two are A and D, extreme position. Okay, we will discuss about all these things broadly in your SHM chapter. Clear? So from this derivation we conclude what? The conservation principle of mechanical energy is also satisfied for a simple pendulum. Clear? So these are some verification of conservation of mechanical energy. Okay, so in next class we will discuss further. Thank you.